Hi yoga friends, thanks for joining me today. We're going to do some positioning for digestive issues. I've had people ask me several times, especially when we do the classes in the evening and they may eat a light dinner and then they come to class. So this is really for your digestion. So all these poses will help you if you'll just do this maybe 10 or 15 minutes after you've eaten. So we're actually going to start in a pose that we don't do very often. It's called goddess pose. So you're going to bring your feet out with your toes pointed to the ends of the mat. And you're going to give yourself a pretty wide stance. Almost when we do cactus or chair. So we want to bend the knees liberally. So we're going to come down and point the tailbone toward the mat and really squat down if you can. Now you take the arms up just like we do on cactus and pull the arms back and feel the shoulders. It's almost like you're pinching a pencil in between your shoulder blades. Keeping the elbows up and the palms facing out. And you're going to feel the burn in your inner thighs. And you're going to bring the belly button back toward the spine. And then you're going to take 3 long deep breaths. In through the nose. And each time you exhale, see if you can bring those shoulders together just a little bit more. And sink down a little deeper. And continue to breathe. And you can stay in this as long as it works for you. So stay in your goddess pose. And then we are going to come back up. Arms come down. And point your toes toward the side of the mat. And bring them together just a little bit. And then we're going to bend the knees again. Bring the arms up into cactus. Lift the elbows. Bring the belly button back toward the spine. And breathe. Take 3 long deep breaths in this and then you come back up. We're going to come into mountain pose, and then exhale. We're going to take 3 long deep breaths in mountain pose, okay? And then we're going to drop into our squat. So sometimes you need to bring your feet a little wider, and for some of you want to keep the knees a little closer. You at least need to keep your knees aligned with your hips. And then you start to come down. And keep pressing downward. And if you can, sit back on those sits bones. And then go ahead and come down as far as you can. Your arms can be out. They can be beside you. They can be behind you. And you can walk your feet, like I said, closer if you want to. And it depends on your anatomy. If you have weak ankles, you kind of have to be careful with the squat position. And with this one, we're going to even hug that belly closer into the thigh area. And again, we're trying to soothe that digestive system and affect the sympathetic nerve system. And then we're just going to come down and get into our cat-cow pose. Bring your knees directly underneath your hips and your hands underneath your shoulders, spreading the fingertips out and really putting the weight into the ball of the hand, into the fingertips, and keeping the weight off of the wrists. We're going to start out with a neutral back. So our spine is neutral. We're not dipping or rounding the back. Keep pressing up through the fingertips. And then we're going to drop the belly, arch the back, look up. And always take a deep inhale as you start. This is your cow pose. And then exhale as you round the spine. Bring the belly button way up. Uddiyana Bandha. Bring the belly button up toward the spine, locking it in place. So you're starting to move that digestive system around those internal organs. And we're going to do this 5 times. Drop the belly, look up, and inhale. Do this to a count of 3, and then you're going to exhale, bring the belly button up. And again, drop the belly, look up. Press up through those fingertips, the palms, into the arms. And exhale, round your spine. And again, drop the belly. Look up, if that honors your balance. And round your spine again with an exhale. And then you can do this as many times as that actually feels good to you. Come back to your neutral tabletop, and they're going to bring our knees together. We're going to sit back our hips onto our heels. And this is a form of child's pose. And we're going to take and put the right hand over the left, and we're going to make a ball, a fist. I'm going to press it into just about where the belly button is. And then we're going to start to massage that a little bit as we come forward. And we're just going to bend forward. Bring your forehead down to the mat. And this is forcing the gut area to make some movement. And you can stay in this for about 3 to 5 long, deep breaths. And you can lift up as you take an inhale, and then fold forward as you exhale. And again, you can stay in these poses as long as beneficial to you. So that's a form of child's pose. Sometimes we call it rabbit, but that's a form of those poses. So we're going to come back, and we're going to go into our cat-cow again. So we want to manipulate that spine a little bit after we've done this. And we want to make sure that we're dropping the belly much lower this time. And then rounding the spine. And then all the way back up. And then we're going to come onto our back. And I have a blanket and I have a block here. And you can use either or neither, whichever one you like. It really doesn't matter if you use either one of these. But we're gonna come forward and just bring our chest toward our knees. And just kind of hold onto the knees and come forward. And then we come all the way back onto the mat and recline. Kind of just align your spine with the mat. And then bring your arms over your head and just stretch. And then if you want to, go ahead and bring your feet out and stretch through your toes. And what we did is that we started to maneuver some of those internal organs. And we are going to stretch now. And we're going to allow some of that to move those digestive juices around. And hopefully start to feel better. Then we'll bring our feet hip distance apart. I'm going to lift the hips into bridge pose. Bring our arms alongside us. You can start to walk your shoulders together a little bit. Clasp your hands. And keep pushing up. Keep breathing and feel the belly rise and fall. Because our focus is on the digestive system here. Even though we're actually working the spine and the shoulders. So in yoga, we don't ever just do one thing that affects one part of the body. Be pressing upward. Tighten those inner thighs. We're protecting our knees by tightening the inner thighs and strengthening the muscles. You can hold this as long as you feel comfortable. And then you can lower all the way down. And if you have, especially maybe your stomach and then that lower spine. Sometimes when you have digestive issues, it gives you some discomfort in the lower spine too. So if you have that, I would suggest taking your block and placing the block underneath that lower spine. And then you can stay in this position in your supported bridge position as long as you want to. So just take this time for yourself and start to breathe. Then you can always bring your hands behind you if you want, or just beside you. And you can kind of rock back and forth on the block, whatever feels good to you. You can lift your legs if you want. Just kind of play around with this and see how this feels on your spine, and notice what it's doing to the stomach area. Go ahead and remove your block. Come all the way down. Bring your knees into your chest. Massage at your spine. Take your knees round and round. And then the other direction. And then, like I said, you can do this as many times as you actually need to, want to. And then bring the knees closer to the chest and reach for the outside of your feet. And lift your feet if you want. And you can rock back and forth in this position too. And then bring your knees back into your chest. Straighten out that left leg and bring your right knee into your chest. Bring your right arm at a T and start to cross your body with that right knee all the way across, and take your gaze over your right fingertips. This is called twisted roots. And this is just kind of like gathering the toxins that are in your gut. And then when we do the twisted roots, it's like wringing them out. So breathe really deep when you're in this position. I would suggest 3 to 5 long deep breaths. And give close attention to that gut area. Then bring that right knee into your chest and squeeze, and bring the left one in to meet and rock back and forth. And release the right leg all the way down and bring the left knee into your chest. Left arm is at a T, right hand is on that left knee, and cross your body. Just feel the stretch in the spine, that lower belly. Hopefully by now you're starting to get a little relief. After the video, if you need to do this again, then just go through the whole series. And then bring the left knee into your chest and squeeze, and bring the right knee into your chest. Bring your feet all the way down to the mat. Plant them firmly onto the mat. And just allow your knees to fall over to the right. Take your gaze over to your left. So we're just twisting up the spine just a little bit back and forth. And so we're just manipulating that digestive area. And bring your knees back up. Reposition your feet. And allow them to fall over to the left. Take your gaze over your right. Anytime we do counter stretches, it's always going to help that digestive area. And then back up and bring your knees into your chest. And this time roll over to your left side. And I want you to stay in this Shavasana type position and lay on your left side. The reason we want to do that is we do a lot of the digestive juices start to flow from the right side, and so we want to make that available. And we're going to lie on the left side to allow your belly to be able to do that. And take some long deep breaths. Just kind of stay in this position. Really, I would stay in this position maybe 5 or 10 minutes if you have time. You can do this before you go to bed. You might even hear some digestive juices start to flow, and that's good. And then bring your knees back up. After you have stayed in this position as long as you like, bring your legs up. And then start to lower them very slowly. And then I would suggest that maybe you get a pillow or a bolster or something and put under the knees and lift the knees slightly in this Shavasana position. Your palms are up. And then you just start to take some deeper breaths. And start to scan your body for any tightness or tension. Start to notice the belly. If you feel more space now, you're able to breathe a little deeper. And just stay in this position as long as you like. I hope this aids your digestion today. Namaste.